Hello and welcome. Today we have a question about NotebookLM, and it is, can NotebookLM use images in flashcards? I have not been able to get that to work. I think the answer to that is no. Let me just go through the motions just so people can follow along. If you go to notebooklm.google.com, you get to this page. You may have to log in, and you either have to create a new notebook or go into an existing notebook. I'll just go into a notebook here, and then you have to add sources and have at least one source that is added and then checked, which is just selected. And then at that point, your artifacts over here become active and selectable. So we're talking about the flashcard artifact here, and you can click on the little arrow to get to the customize window, and there aren't that many options in here. Like, you can pick the number of cards you have, and you can pick the level of difficulty, and then you can put in some kind of description here. So you can add in the description, add images to the flashcards. I've tried that. It didn't work for me. It's NotebookLM, so the whole thing with this is it's rooted in your sources. So you would have to, first of all, provide the images, because this isn't going to go out to the internet and find images of things. So you would have to have images in your sources, which, I mean, maybe you do. But even in that case, you would have to point this description to your sources. And again, I've tried that. It hasn't worked. And I've seen others who've tried it, and I haven't seen anyone who's been able to get it to work. That's not to say that they won't add the feature in the future. I don't know, but as of right now, I am not aware of any way to get images in flashcards in NotebookLM specifically. What you may be able to do, if this is interesting to you, is use Gemini. So let me switch over, and again, if you're following along, this is just gemini.google.com. You can use the same Google account, but you have to log in to get to this page, and this is just the main screen here. I tried this already because I honestly wasn't sure if this would work, and it's kind of a process. And I'll show you some of this. So first, I just kept it on the fast model and just asked it to create flashcards that include images and text to help someone identify different animals. And be sure to include a llama, because why wouldn't you have a llama? And I mean, these aren't really, I mean, I didn't specify that it was, NotebookLM style flashcards with something on the front and then you flip it and get something on the back. I mean, technically, these might be flashcards. I don't think this is what most people mean when they say flashcards, but I think it's a good example that you have to be more descriptive in your prompt. If you want something, you have to actually ask for it. So know that if you just put in kind of a basic, just give me flashcards prompt, you'll probably get something like this. So I'll assume that's not what you want. And there's another one in the middle that didn't work very well. And then let me go back here. So again, this was kind of an iterative process. So it didn't really work that well with me with the Flash model. So I changed it to Pro, mainly because the second option that I did actually asked it to code something, and it kind of stumbled through the coding. And usually you want to switch to like a thinking or a pro model, or model with thinking or reasoning ability if it's like math, logic, or coding. This is coding and it didn't do well, so it's like, now let me try pro model. So I switched to Pro, and then I also put in Canvas. So if you don't know what that is, I'll just go back to a new chat really quickly. And if you put in whatever prompt you have, and then you go under Tools, you can select Canvas here. And Canvas, it lets you either do like word processing or do stuff with code. Since this is code, Canvas kind of makes sense. So let me come back here, and like, this is actually Canvas, and like, this is the code that it generated, and this is a React app. If you're familiar with coding, you know what that means. And here's where it's importing React and blah, blah, blah. It's like about 200 lines of code, which is kind of nothing. But then Now, this one actually gave me more of what I think you're looking for. And this was my prompt to create an interactive flashcard application that can be used to quiz someone on identifying different animals. Include images on one side and the text, quote unquote, answer on the back. Initially, the front side with the image will be shown, and the back can only be seen if the card is clicked. This was basically simulating like a NotebookLM style flashcard experience where you have something on the front and then you can look at that for as long as you want and then you click it and then you can see, the answer on the back. And it did okay. I mean, I would have to go back and do some follow-up prompts to kind of fix this. I'll show you why in a second, but some of this works really well. So it's like, okay, this is a flashcard and it shows me the image on the front, so that's success. And then if I click it, it'll flip over. That looks like some kind of cat. I don't know exactly what kind of cat, but that looks like some kind of cat. If I flip this, it says a tiger. I don't know what kind of cat this is, but I don't think that's a tiger. So again, this I would have to kind of go back and fix some things in this, but the core functionality is actually good. Again, it looks okay, it has the image, it flips when I click it, it just has the wrong answer. So that is actually a pretty easy follow-up prompt. It's like, okay, you look at that, I'm gonna disregard the birds there and say that's probably an elephant. Okay, it is, so that one's good. That looks like a penguin. That's good. That looks like a fox. That's okay, red fox, sure. That one's good. Now this is card 5. This is the same picture as card 1. So again, I would have to prompt that and like, hey, maybe use different pictures for each one. To be clear, I didn't specify, actually I did specify different animals. So I kind of missed on that. And then that's definitely not a dolphin. And then that looks like a panda, which it is. So that one's okay. And like, that's the same picture again. So, and it's calling it a giraffe, so that's not really great. And that's the same picture again. So it has this picture on here 4 times, and now it's a sloth. So again, it's not perfect. This one I would have to go back and do some follow-up prompting and point out, cards, I don't know, the number 1, I think it was 1, 8, 7, and 5 or 6, all have the same image, and it's not a sloth, it's not a tiger, it's not a giraffe, it's a cat, etc. But again, most of this is okay. If you wanted images on flashcards, they are flashcards, they do flip, they do have images. So I think Gemini definitely got the closest. And I never got even close to this far with NotebookLM. So if you want to create this, I think Gemini would be an option. You may be able to use like a ChatGPT. I didn't try it in that, or Perplexity, or other tools. But I think it would be a similar experience where you're going to have it code something. And this is a React app, but you'll have to have it code something, and then you may have to go back and forth. If you get a good prompt, save it or something so that you can just kind of iterate, like just reuse it if you want to have more applications. But back to the question, can you create flashcard decks with images in NotebookLM? Not that I've been able to do. I don't know a way to do it. I've tried and I've not gotten it to work. So the workaround that I came up with was using Gemini. And when I just used the Flash model and I didn't select Canvas, it didn't really give me what I was looking for in flashcards. It just kind of gave me these, I don't know, whatever you want to call these. But when I actually selected the Pro model and selected Canvas and asked it to create a flashcard application, it got most of the way. This is like 75, 80% of the way there. So if you need to do that, Gemini may be an option. Again, ChatGPT may work, Perplexity may work, Canva may work, but you'll probably have to ask for an application and describe the behavior you want to have in the application. So try that out and see if it works for you, and we will see you next time.